My name is Tarmack, and this is your game industry news wrap-up for the week of October 17th, 2015. Humble was for a time giving buyers of Devil May Cry in Germany Japanese localized keys. The key problem has since been rectified. I'm not really sure how they confused the two. The Germans and Japanese haven't been on the same side for 70 years. The Overwatch Beta is set to begin on October 27th. The timing is somewhat odd, with BlizzCon just a week afterwards. Normally, date announcements make for great hype generators at conventions like that. In true Blizzard fashion, it will publicly appear as though only 5 people have actually been invited, and we'll surely have an option to buy our beta access at some point along the way. The creative director of the game The Flock did a post-mortem to discuss why their game failed. For those that don't remember, this is the game that would shut its servers down when players collectively died 200 million or so times. I would like to point out that a public post-mortem for an indie developer whose game has failed is a last-chance marketing move, hoping that they get the sympathy dollar. They talked about other games that were out at the same time, negative reviews, and how they couldn't get coverage from people in the media that they knew. Never once did they mention that the real reason it failed is that they spent too much time on the server shutdown gimmick and not enough time making a video game. Microsoft claims that the vast majority of Xbox One owners still use their Kinect. What they didn't specify is whether their definition of the word use means more than is still plugged in. Talking about Payday 2, Overkill producer Almir Listo wrote the following quote 2 years ago. "We've made it clear that Payday 2 will have no microtransactions whatsoever. Shame on you if you thought otherwise." Shortly after, when asked if they would be put into the title in the future, lead designer Dave Goldfarb at the time said, No, God, I hope not, never, no. Can you guess what just happened? Of course you can. Square Enix is not allowing monetization of any kind relating to videos of Dragon Quest Heroes. This includes reviews. I'm debating buying the game just to make a review and put it up on YouTube specifically because of this move. I've been itching for a fight lately, especially one where the law would be on my side. I could get by with just a single strike for a while. And while all of this is going on, they put out a contest for the community to make a launch trailer for Just Cause 3 with a $5,000 prize package. I'm going to bet that the two divisions making these choices don't talk to each other very much. Treyarch has said that all levels in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 will be unlocked from the outset. More choice is good in my view, but it was quite amusing to see people getting upset at a feature that quite literally affects no one unless they choose to use the feature. On October 20th, you'll be able to use an Xbox controller on your PC, so long as you've upgraded to Windows 10 and bought a USB wireless dongle for an extra $25. And here I've been using my DualShock 4 controller happily with no problems on standard Bluetooth and Windows 8 for close to a year. This is the kind of thing I was talking about relating to the Phil Spencer console war being distasteful comment. Rather than just integrating the Xbox hardware into the operating system from the get-go, we've got to wait until the Xbox One is acknowledged to be well behind other platforms in sales before they grant us permission to use the controller on PC. The Steam Link has been launched, which is an HD streaming box that streams from your awesome PC Master Race computer to your TV so that you can actually enjoy 1080p 60 frames per second video games in the living room. You can use it over Wi-Fi if video compression doesn't hurt your soul, but for the rest of us, wired is the way to go. Unfortunately, the Steam Link doesn't support 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound, which is half the reason to bother playing in the living room in the first place. Dark is the sky and chill is the wind. I've followed Total Biscuit since the Blue Please days, listening with my earbuds while doing terribly boring day job nonsense, and it was a bright part of my day. Hearing that his cancer has progressed negatively is terrible. To YouTubers in the video game space who want more out of their channels than just overreactions and the same old stuff, he's an inspiration. In fact, he's a large part of why I decided to try YouTube in the first place, and a material piece of some of the extremely recent success for me as well. I'd love to help him in some way outside of verbal and moral support, but that's beyond any of our means. So, in the description below, you'll find a fan site with links to a number of charities, including Charity Water. It's an organization helping third world countries establish clean water for people, which TB has supported in the past. And I don't really know what else I can do, so I'm going to leave you here with something that takes me back, and probably a fair few of you as well. John, you're awesome. Thanks for everything.
And so, it begins. Dark were the skies and chill was the wind as the land was covered in a veil of malice. Across the hill did ride a dread army of the night, cloaked in mist and fog, prepared to rain down death and destruction upon the land. And the people cried out for a savior, a noble soul to save them from their impending demise. Just as it seemed all was lost, in strode a mighty hero, clad in shimmering metal from head to toe. Wielding a terrible broadsword, he did cleave his foes in twain, smashing their ranks asunder with a righteous fury. And when the day was done, and the enemy strewn across the fields in pieces, the people did turn to the warrior and say, "We shall name this day in your honor. Speak unto us your wisdom." Slowly the warrior turned to face the assembled crowd. Lifting his sword on high, he said but one word that day. One man, one murloc, one giant angry badger. This is Blue Please. It begins now.